Okay, so we learned about what it means to have a fraction as an exponent, or what we call rational exponents. Now we're just going to do a little bit of simplifying and looking at expressions that use rational exponents. So let's look at one that has variables in it first. And you'll see that the same rules that we learned for positive, negative, and zero exponents also work for rational exponents. So what if I have x to the 2/3 power raised to the 9th? That's a 3. Let's make that clearer. That looks like a 5. X to the 2/3 power raised to the 9th. Okay? Our rule for raising a power to a power is multiplying. We multiply those exponents. So we've got 2/3 times 9, let's say over 1. That's x to the 18/3, which gives us x to the 6th power. Okay? We could also, if we wanted to, make our lives a little easier if you know how to deal with fractions, and that is that 3 goes into 9 3 times. 2 times 3 is also 6. Let's do one more of these. They're pretty straightforward. Let's do a double one here. What if I have a to the 3/4 power, c to the, let's say 1/2 power, raised to the, I don't know, 12th? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we've got a to the 3/4 times 12, 3/4 times 12 is 9, a to the 9th. C, 1/2 of 12 is 6. So pretty straightforward, right? We can use the same rules that we learned for integer exponents and zero exponents, and we can use them on fraction or rational exponents as well. What if we've got a number? Using a number in here is a little different. What if I have, for example, let's say 32 to the 3/5 power. 32 to the 3/5 power. Okay? The key to doing these is to write them as a radical that we learned in the video about rational exponents. And that is, we're talking about putting 32 under a radical sign. The denominator is the root. That's a 5. And our numerator, becomes our power. So we have the 5th root of 32 raised to the 3rd. I haven't gotten to radicals yet in this sequence, in this Algebra 2 sequence, but we can talk about it pretty quickly. A 5th root means what times itself 5 times gives me 32. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and do a factor tree. Hopefully you've done one of these in an earlier math class. 32 is 2 times 16. And 16 is 2 times 8, isn't it? And 8 is 2 times 4. And 4 is 2 times 2. So when I finally factor out 32, I can write 32 as 5 2's. So what times itself 5 times gives me 32? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? 2. So the 5th root of 32 is 2, and I'm raising it to the 3rd power. 2 to the 3rd power is 8. So just rewrite numbers, numbers raised to a fraction exponent or a rational exponent as a radical, and then do your math. Let's do another one. How about the let's see. How about we do 49 to the 3/2 power. 49 to the 3/2 power. Okay, we're going to write it as a radical. 49 goes under my radical. My denominator is 2, which means we're dealing with a square root. Remember, we do not write the 2 here. We don't write the 2 in the radical. There's no 2 here. It's understood. But we are going to write the 3. Okay? The square root of 49 is 7 raised to the 3rd power. 7 times 7 times 7. 49 times 3 is 343. Okay? Not too bad. And then remember your negatives. Remember your negatives. If you have a negative exponent, be sure you make it a reciprocal, put it under 1. So what if I had, let's do 16 to the negative, I don't know, 5/4 power? That'll work. That's 1 over 16 to the 5/4. And then I'll rewrite my 16 to the 5/4 as a radical. That's the 4th root of 16 raised to the 5th. Well, what times itself 4 times gives it 16? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2. So I've got 1 over 2 to the 5th, and 2 to the 5th is 32, so 1/32. And remember that when we do our power of a product, if we have a parentheses that we need to deal with, we need to do that to everything inside the parentheses. So for example, if I had 8x to the 3/4, no, let's not do that. I'm going to change that. Let's do 8x to the 9th raised to the 2/3 power. That's a good one. Okay, so what have we got? Remember that when we do a power of a product, we have to take that power and raise everything inside the parentheses to that power. So I have 8 to the 2/3. And then when I do x to the 9th times 2/3, 9 times 2/3 is 18/3, which is 6. There's a 6. So the only thing I have left to do is figure out what 8 to the 2/3 is. All right? So that's 8. We're taking the cube root, and we are squaring it. Cube root of 8, 2 times 2 times 2 is 2, squared is 4. Remember, while I'm talking about it, that you could also write this 8 to the 2/3 power as the cube root of 8 squared. And the cube root of 8 times 8 is 64. What times itself 3 times gives us 64? 64 is 4 times 4 times 4, so that's also 4. So my answer here is 4x to the 6. So there you go. That's how you simplify expressions that have rational exponents in them. Thanks.